Hi, my name is Delia Feliz, and I'm here with Coach Charles Collins, who's one of the highest regarded wide receiver coaches out here. He's taught several Pro Bowlers, and I'm just going to be here asking him a few questions. So, Coach C, good to have you here.
Yeah, nice to be here.
You had a nice long week with the guys. How did that go?
Started off a little rocky, a little rocky to start. But as you know, with anything, repetition is the best teacher, and that's what we're trying to get back Chad Johnson to, being proficient and efficient at the same time, and hopefully we've accomplished that this week.
So you have players like Andre Johnson, Chad Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald. They all swear by your techniques. And how did you get into coaching?
Well, obviously being a player myself and understanding that, to be effective in this game, you have to stay with the cutting edge of how you do things, the cutting edge of how you run routes. And the game has been the same, but techniques to keep evolving. Over time, I begin to look at, what was lacking in football. And what I found is, really that pro football players really want to get better at their craft. And that's what drove me to, getting into coaching, because, it's a fine line between the ones that are here and there, and it's all can be found in the details.
And how long have you been coaching for?
I'd say since 1997. I was pulled into coaching. I wasn't looking to coach, but in 1997 I was dragged into Santa Monica College, and lo and behold, Mr. Chad Johnson was there as a quarterback, by the way. But sure enough, we knew that he wasn't going to throw very many footballs, and we were going to have to teach him how to play another position.
Really? He started out as a quarterback?
Started out as a quarterback.
That's funny.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, how did you come up with these coaching techniques and fundamentals that just separates you from all the other coaches?
Well, the game has evolved over the time, and so the offensive schemes have changed. And what happens now is, because of the schemes, guys don't really run routes. They're really based on it's more of a schematic thing, and running combination routes based on coverages and whatnot. But technique is one of those things where you have to be effective, especially when you don't know what offense you're going to be in or what system you're going to be in. What's going to save you at the end of the day is having great technique and great fundamentals. All about that technique.
Getting those breaks.
Yes.
In the breaks.
In the breaks.
All right. Well, after watching you guys this week, I noticed that some of the drills you have the players actually close their eyes, which I thought was really interesting. And after watching the before with their eyes open versus their eyes closed, I saw a distinct difference. And can you explain why you do that? It's
a trick. And really, if you think about closing your eyes when you can't see, you have to be really, really focused on your technique, which means, you don't have the ability to see where you're going to hit your feet in the ground. You can't see foot placement. You can't see where you're going to transition to. So closing your eyes really makes you hone in on putting the foot down, being patient with your steps, and understanding how to take the correct steps. So it's kind of a trick we've done, and it kind of wakes them up and promotes that muscle memory.
What would you say separates you from all the other coaches out there?
Well, I'd like to just say that, your passion. I'm fueled by passion. I want to be the best at what I do, and that's the same thing I preach to the players. We're not out here to be just good. We want good, better to best. And my saying it always to those players is good, better, best. We start good to become better, better to become best.
You've worked with wide receivers of all levels. From your experience, what is the biggest obstacle that you see wide receivers having from going where they're at now to that next level?
Well, it's like anything else. You have to be willing to work. You have to make the commitment, and the only commitment comes from, you have to have a passion for it. You have to make a commitment, and then you have to really take time out and do the work. And that's what separates you. You got to work at it, because like anything else, you have to do it 1,000,000 times before you get it right the first time. So we all believe it's in the commitment, but it's also in the work. Yeah. And more importantly, the quality of the work.
So Coach C, you've been working with Chad for a while now. What do you think he needs to do to get back to his Pro Bowl level?
Be consistent now. Now that we broke a lot of habits, we eliminated some of those indicators. Chad got away from being solid, relying on talent and not relying on technique. And at the end of the day, technique always supersedes talent. And what he has gone back to is now he has to be better at just really playing solid football and not trying to be an entertainer, but be a player.
Yeah. Focus on the game.
Focus on the game.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach C. It's great to have you. This is Delia and Coach Collins signing off for In the Breaks.